great feature of the VisionWorks software is the ability to do lane concentrations. So in this case, if I have a known concentration for this standards lane, I can calculate the lane purity for any of the lanes that we've run in the gel. So the way that we're going to start with this is click on 1D Analysis tab at the top and click on Define Region. By defining a region for just the lanes we're interested in and clicking on Find Lanes and Bands, it's going to find the lanes we want. The lane sensitivity area here allows us to slide this around until it finds all the lanes. If we click on Constant Lane Widths, now it's going to make all the lane widths the same. If we slide the band sensitivity back to 0, we'll be able to find bands automatically in a second. So click on OK. Next, we're going to align each of these lanes in the center of the lane. So just by clicking on the lane and moving it, you can see that you're able to move individual lanes to wherever you'd like them to be. After we're finished with that, we're going to go over to the far side of that lane and drag it wider so it measures the whole lane width. We don't miss any part of the band. Next, we're going to go in and we're going to add bands. So we click on Add Bands, and we're going to give one band for each lane. It doesn't matter at this point where we calculate those bands. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the Edit Objects button, and we're going to click on the Lane Profile Graph. So when we do that, it's going to bring up the Lane Profile Graph, and we're going to see a graph of each of the 5 lanes that we're scanning in this image. The first thing we'd like to do is to display a background correction. So if we choose Area Between Lanes, it's going to show us a background correction for that, for every single one of the lanes that are calculated. The next thing we want to do is we want to drag the extents. So you can see the beginning and the ending of these bands. I can drag them out to the top of the lane and to the bottom for each one of the lanes that we're going to be calculating. So we simply grab that little button here and we drag it out. Lane 2, lane 3, and you can see that all the lanes that are in here, all the bands that are in there are going to be calculated as one single value, which is a lane purity calculation. One more lane, and we're almost ready to go. So just by clicking here and dragging out to the left and to the right, now we're ready to go. So we click on the OK button, and now we've got a value. What we want to do is assign a value for this one. So we go to the Concentrations button over here, and it's going to give us a data point. So we click on the Data Point tab and take our cursor and click on the lane that is our known standard. So if I click here, a new tab opens up, and here I'm able to assign 100% or 50 nanograms or whatever the nanogram concentration might be for that lane. When I click OK and OK again, it's now calculated for us the totals for the unknown lanes. So if I click on the Results tab, it's going to bring up a new data window, and the data report type that we're interested in is going to be one that's called lane concentrations or calibrated concentrations, and that allows us to see the actual concentration for each one of those lanes. So I can see lane A at 100%, lane B at 74, 52, 22, and so on for each of those lanes that we've calculated. It's a great way to establish quick lane purity calculations based on a known lane concentration. If we want to export the data, we can go directly to Excel or to a CSV file by clicking on either of these 2 buttons here.